Hi, hello, welcome. So I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on some MixItUp Bot stuff here. As you can see, like this is post stream here. I haven't cleared the chat or anything like that, but I've had a lot of people ask me to do some tutorials. Instead of having my face in the way, I figured I'd just do a blank tutorial. If you guys like that, just let me know. But uh, I'm gonna show you guys some basic steps on how to really set up MixItUp. For those of you who don't know, MixItUp is an amazing bot that you can use on Mixer. It is pretty much everything in one. It has your mix playboard, it has your commands, it even has some statistics. Like if you go down to statistics, it resets every single time you go live. I don't know how I have chatters. I'm not live right now. Um, but it resets every single time you go live, so it keeps track of your embers, your donations, milestone sparks, anything and everything that could potentially happen. It keeps track of. So I'm just gonna go over some basic things here. If you guys want more in-depth stuff, I can work on trying to do some in-depth stuff. But yeah, so first and foremost, some command stuff. So as you can see, I'm pretty sure there's no way to group things just yet. I think that's coming, but not here yet. But as you guys can see, I have a lot of commands, and some of my commands are a little bit kind of crazy. So I'll get into all of that here soon, but just to make a new command is real simple. You just make a command and then you have chat, sound, or advanced command. Chat commands, it'll just say something in the chat like hi or whatever, and then that's all it is. You trigger is just hi, and once someone does exclamation mark hi, then it pops up saying whatever the command is. Pretty self-explanatory. The sound commands, you can have the default output I'll get into here in a little bit, but the sound commands, you choose your file path wherever you want the sound to come from, and whenever someone does the command, you can have the sound activate. So again, pretty self-explanatory. And then advanced commands is where it gets really, really complicated. So you'll have your command name, hi is the trigger, and then you have all of this that you can choose from. So chat messages will relay stuff to chats. Commands will make it activate another command. Conditional is, if this happens, then that happens. That's a whole mess of things that, not really worth getting into just yet. Counter will create a counter for the command. So if you have like how many times someone burps on a stream, you would do exclamation mark burp and it would count how many burps you have. Currency or rank will take away or give currency. Discord is like if you want stuff to actually relay to Discord, you have to have Discord integration. Um, External program is something I haven't messed with. I'm not too sure. File is kind of like the counter, but it does, different things again. Stuff that I don't really mess with. Game queue is if you're doing like Fortnite, you can make a queue for Fortnite. Not sure what IFTTT is. I didn't mess with that. But input, you can make certain things happen. And like you could have someone, so if they run a command, the command requires currency, you could have someone like put move forward on at a crazy amount. Mixer clips is for your partner, you can have a clip. Mix play, you can have a mix play action happen. Moderation is for your mods, it'll time people out or whatever. Overlay, you can have images or videos show up for it. Overstream, I believe, is the same as overlay, just a different use if you have a different overlay path. Serial, I'm not too sure. Song request is if you have sounds turned on for your bot. Sound is just the same as the basic sound commands. Special identifiers will go in comparison to conditional and some other things. You'll need the special identifier for the conditional to actually properly work. And you can also make special identifiers elsewhere. Spotify, control Spotify if you have that integrated. Streaming platform and software are new. I'm not too sure. Streamlabs, I believe is just connection with the Streamlabs, or it could be, something completely different. Again, that's new. Text to speech will have whatever the command is be text to spoken. Translation will translate commands or do some sort of translation of whatever. Twitter will do Twitter integration stuff. I think it will show like retweets or some stuff along those lines. Waits is like if you want a sound to happen and then you want it to wait and then it says something in the chat, you'll put sound, then a wait time, and then something in the chat. Web request is another thing that you're gonna do special identifiers for and stuff like that. So really complex. A lot of the times, like for my basic commands, I don't really need a lot of that stuff. Like advice is about the craziest thing that I get, and that's web request. And I have the special identifier already enabled, and so when people do exclamation mark advice in my stream, it actually comes up with a random advice coming off of the API from Bot, which is another bot that a lot of people use, but this is the best place that I found the API from, especially since I imported this over when I switched to MixItUp. And then, as you can see, the chat, the web request identifies as that, and then the chat is just web request 1. I can put like, the advice is, and then it'll pull whatever advice randomly. And then obviously from here it makes a clip. Clip name is just clip. However long I want the clip to be. If I want the clip to automatically be downloaded, I can. And then from there, like dad jokes again from Bot. Make the special identifiers and web requests. You can make your own special identifiers, which is what this action is here for making special identifiers. But usually, like for web requests and stuff like that, you don't need to. And then again, chat, and it's pretty straightforward. Now you have pre-made commands with it where like if you want mods to add commands for you, they can. Usually it's something along the lines of, let me go to the chat so I can type it. It would be add commands hi 0, and then it says hi, and then it would create a command that says that. I'm not going to do that because I have lurkers on my channel and people will think I'm insane. I mean, I'm already insane, but we'll go with that. And so I mean, you can another really nice thing is if you press these buttons here, these play buttons, it will test the command. If it doesn't work, like as you can see, it's everywhere. If it doesn't work, then you can go back and readjust it. And then for the song stuff, it just automatically, you can do the song stuff. I have mine coming from YouTube because I don't have my Spotify hooked up. And that's pretty much it. There's Sparks where again it's the web request stuff, and it just this is a good example. This is at username has this many Sparks. It's very straightforward, very self-explanatory. The biggest thing is just getting in and tinkering with it. Whenever you're making commands, if you were worried about anything, you can go special identifiers reference, and here you will see all of the special identifiers, and you can, this is a really good wiki. This is where I found all of my information. So you literally just click on special identifiers reference and it will tell you what you need. So if you want to do a count, if you want to do like a song request sort of deal, anything like that. Then usage requirements, pretty self-explanatory. User is anybody, pro is anybody with a purple name, partners anybody who is verified, follower, regular you define elsewhere, subscribers, mods, channel editors, staff, streamer. So it's all pretty self-explanatory. Timer, you can make it so it's individual. So if one person uses it, they have to wait another 10 seconds before they can use it again. Currency, if you want the commands to cost a currency amount, which you set up again elsewhere, which is right here. Then how many users it's required, and the time span that people have. So if you are a large stream and you want to do a clip and the clip is 30 seconds long, but you don't want just random people clipping all the time, you can make it so that 5 people are required to do exclamation mark clip in your chat. They have 30 seconds to do so from the first person initiating it. And if that happens, then the clip happens. If not, nothing happens. And then settings, if you wanted to automatically delete the command that was last run. So instead of having like the exclamation mark advice happen, you just do exclamation mark advice, it automatically deletes it and it shows whatever the command is. And then you can have it be a patron benefit if you so choose, which is a really nice integration as well. If you guys want to know where you want to integrate stuff at, go to, I believe it's, yeah, services. You connect your bots, your overlays, whatever streaming. Overstream is a streaming software. So OBS, Streamlabs, OBS, XSplit, your regular Streamlabs, Tiltify if you use it for charity, Extra Life tip streams, Patreon. You can integrate your Stream Deck. Oh, here's the IFTT. It's webhook stuff, so that's why I don't know it. Stream avatars. You can connect your Twitter, your Discord, Spotify, and it has a developer API, which is the biggest thing. So that's pretty much the basics on commands. And then if you come to here, like in this area, you can put your default audio output. So you don't have to set it for everyone, because the default usually is your default output, which if your computer is like mine, your default output isn't the proper output you want. So you set the default audio output here, and from there you're able to just make it so any commands or any sounds that happen will come through that default audio output. And then for the mix play is a whole big different mess. So you're going to want to make sure you're logged into your mixer, refresh, make sure your interactive board is connected, and then you can choose from any of these interactive boards here. I have my general interactive, which I used for the longest time, and then I have my new interactive board, which is this. You're going to have groups, which you're going to want to add groups. If you want to start getting into like a multi-tier board like I have, you have groups where, as you can see, all of these people automatically start here, but nobody else does. So whenever someone clicks on the enter the kingdom button, they come straight to the main board, which if you see is the main group. It switches you to the new group, and that will allow you to switch, or to have people switch between your board without moving everybody else. As you can see, this is all of my main board. Again, pretty straightforward, self-explanatory sound, overlay, pretty much everything we went over with the commands, except it's happening for your mix play board. And then, if someone hits the Star Wars board and you're on the main board, they will go to the Star Wars board, but you'll stay on the main board. And this is a really, really great way to kind of make your interactive board a little bit more user-friendly. Because if someone's trying to press a Star Wars button, they keep trying to go over to Star Wars, but another person is trying to go to the Pirates of the Caribbean board, and it's just a fight back and forth, and they're never able to click the button that they want to click. This is the way to do it. So again, go to groups, create the groups for each different scene that you want. So if you go to the Mixer Lab section, let me make sure that there's nothing. Yeah, so if you go to the Mixer Lab section, all of these scenes here, this is what my board normally looks like and stuff like that. As you can see, whenever someone hits enter the kingdom, it pushes them over into the main board. But if someone else doesn't hit enter the kingdom, they stay on default. So for every new scene that you have, you're going to want to make a group for that scene. So, and then whenever someone clicks on the button, you make that button, so general board, mix play, move user to group. And from there, it'll move the user to the group of general. So that'll take people from the Pirates of the Caribbean board back to or over to the general board. And then if someone wants to go back to the main board, mix play, move user to group, main group, it'll move them over to the main board. So if you guys want a little bit more of a tutorial on that, I can go into that into a little bit more detail. That's a uh very brief description of how the groupings work. Like I said, every scene that you have should be its own group, and then have a button in each of those scenes and just have move user to that group. So Mortal Kombat, mix play, user moves it over to Mortal Kombat. It is case sensitive. So if you have capitals or anything like that, you have to make sure that it is case sensitive. And then from there, the regular buttons is just choosing what kind of button you want it to be. For example, like fatality is just a sound file, but then this is a more complicated. Again, it's if you create a new button, it'll say, do you want it to be a chat? Do you want it to be sound, or do you want it to be advanced? Just like in the normal command section of things, and then sound and overlay is in the advanced section is how you can get like those cool little things happening. So yeah, if you guys want more of a in-depth tutorial, please let me know. This is a very, very brief run through of just commands and mix play on the MixItUp. Like, I haven't song requests are pretty straightforward. You just enable it and have things enabled. And then like games and game queue and stuff like that are all kind of straightforward. If you guys do want some tutorials on that, please do let me know. I haven't really tinkered with the auto hoster that MixItUp has. I did it once and it didn't work out for me. I don't know if I did something wrong. But yeah, so that's the brief run through description of the MixItUp. So thank you guys for listening, and I will see all of you guys next time.